If you're browsing the web wondering whether this glossy platform is a legitimate place to trade, let me be blunt. The experience reported by users and the sloppy, evasive footprint left by the site point towards serious danger. From the first click on Winstrade.io, you get a slick interface and confident marketing, but that polish masks a string of troubling signs. I'll walk you through why the name keeps turning up in complaint threads, why every serious investor should treat it as suspect, and what concrete steps to take if you've already transferred funds. The pattern behind the brand is painfully familiar. People land on a clean, attractive page, they're courted by a friendly account manager, and they're shown simulated account growth that looks real enough to convince a beginner. Then the request to top up the account arrives, bigger deposits, unlocking, premium features, or paying odd fees before withdrawals are allowed. When owners ask for their money back, communication gets spotty or stops entirely. That's the playbook, and unfortunately, it's the same script that surrounds Scam Winstrade complaints. Read any serious forum and you'll find Scam Winstrade. Repeated by victims trying to warn others, and you'll hear the same withdrawal-blocked story told over and over. Scam Winstrade appears in complaint headlines because people feel cheated and powerless. Look at the core facts. There's a domain, Winstrade.io, and a slick marketing front that claims to be an advanced trading service. But branding and visual design are poor substitutes for licensing, regulation, and transparent operations. Check who owns Winstrade.io, and you'll likely find anonymous registration or redacted records. That's not proof of guilt by itself, but it's a warning sign. Users asking for unbiased review. Winstrade content online mostly find crowdsourced complaints and little to no verifiable regulator listings. A genuine broker's record in the regulator's register is easy to confirm. A fraudulent one will have no credible footprint. For anyone doing even a basic search, phrases like Review Winstrade and Review Winstrade.io tend to pull up user complaints and skeptical write-ups rather than independent, authoritative endorsements. The social engineering techniques at play deserve attention. Cold calls and warm-sounding account managers are designed to create trust quickly. They push special opportunities and pressure deposits with a sense of urgency. Those tactics are the same ones that produce the flood of forex Winstrade and forexwinstrade.io. Mentions in complaint threads. Victims who were told they were trading legitimate forex instruments, only to discover those markets were simulated or that the money vanished when asked back. If your research turns up Forex Winstrade more often in complaints than in regulator lists, that's a clear red flag. Another problem is transparency about the platform itself. The site might claim advanced technology, fast execution, and institutional liquidity, but ask hard questions and the answers are vague. Who provides liquidity? Where are client funds held? Who audits the platform? If you cannot find clear answers, don't assume they exist. This absence of disclosure fuels the broker Winstrade warnings. Broker Winstrade is a phrase you'll see used by people trying to classify their experience. Was it trading? Was it a platform? The ambiguity is intentional and dangerous. The lack of verifiable back office, clearing partners, and licensing details is exactly why forum posts repeat Broker Winstrade and BrokerWinstrade.io. When describing their experience, people can't place the company inside the regulated ecosystem because it's not there. The withdrawal phase is where the harm becomes irreversible for many. Accounts that once showed rising balances are suddenly frozen under the pretext of verification, insurance, or extraordinary processing fees. That's why you'll find scamwinstrade.io mentioned again and again in people's posts, because the moment they ask for funds, the facade collapses. Scamwinstrade.io becomes the rallying cry of users who were coaxed into depositing more and more, while the platform created reasons to keep that money. The same victims often post opinionwinstrade.io and opinionwinstrade entries, warning others based on bitter personal experience. A fair critique has to distinguish between suspicious patterns and provable criminality. I'm not a law enforcer, but I am reading the same complaint map many other users do. Anonymous or hidden or WOAS data, no meaningful regulator listing, repeated withdrawal problems, and aggressive deposit solicitations. Those elements combined create what people tag as Scam Winstrade and scamwinstrade.io across community boards. When you search for Review Winstrade and reviewwinstrade.io, the overwhelming sentiment is alarm and caution, not glowing praise. When you search for Forex Winstrade or forexwinstrade.io, you see more alarm than education. That collective judgment, crowdsourced, and often painful to read, is precisely why Opinion Winstrade and OpinionWinstrade.io are overwhelmingly negative. If you've already funded an account with Winstrade.io, move fast. Collect every screenshot, every chat transcript, every payment receipt. Contact your bank immediately to try a chargeback if you used a card. File formal complaints with local law enforcement and the financial regulator in your jurisdiction. Even if Winstrade itself isn't registered, that documentation can be critical later. Seek out consumer protection groups that deal with online investment fraud. Publicize your case in reviews and forums. There's safety in numbers, and the more people shout about the same pattern, the harder it is for operators to keep running under new names. Those exact community warnings are what drive the repeated use of terms like Scam Winstrade, scamwinstrade.io, and reviewwinstrade.io across the internet. Let's be blunt about the optics. A legitimate forex broker invites verification and encourages due diligence. A fraudulent project resists scrutiny, hides paperwork, and punishes attempts to withdraw. Which camp does Winstrade fall into based on publicly available complaints? The answer is grim. Forums and user reports give you the repeated chorus Scam Winstrade and scamwinstrade.io. Independent reviewers who dig into the domain and operational claims tend to categorize the platform as high risk or outright suspicious. Search for opinion. Winstrade and you won't find balanced praise. You'll find cautionary tales. To summarize, here's why you should be skeptical. Aggressive deposit solicitations, simulated profit visuals, missing or opaque licensing, anonymous registration data, a pattern of blocked withdrawals, and a strong chorus of negative user experience. That is the recipe behind the Scam Winstrade tag and the reason that phrases like Review Winstrade, Forex Winstrade, and Broker Winstrade keep repeating in complaint threads. If you see Winstrade.io pitched to you, treat it as potentially dangerous until proven otherwise. The crowdsourced verdict is loud and clear. Numerous reports point to the same dangerous sequence of events, and the practical advice is simple. Avoid Winstrade.io. If you've been contacted by Winstrade, don't sign up. And if you already have money there, act immediately to document everything and contact your bank and local authorities. Lost money with a broker? Find out how to get it back. Contact us at watchdogonline@proton.me. Leave your name and phone number so we can get back to you. The Watchdog Online team stands guard over your safety. Together, we will make the internet better.